99 FM, your inspiration station. You're listening to Big Mooks on your favorite radio station. Now, today is an inspiring story that I got for you here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Brian Stupek, a 31-year-old author, linguistic, has announced that he is stepping away from his teaching career to pursue storytelling full-time as part of his next adventure. Now, Stupek is embarking on an ambitious journey, walking the entire length of Africa from Cape Town, South Africa, to the pyramids of Cairo, Egypt. Along the way, he documents his experiences through a blog and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. He shares interviews with strangers he meets, focusing on mental health journeys. Now, Stupek has arrived in Namibia and joins me online to tell us a little bit more about his adventure. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How are you?
I am awesome. What is the earliest you are up and on the road?
We traditionally get up around 7 or 8, but on the long days, we'll have to get up around 4:30 in the morning. Because it's kind of dangerous to walk late at night, 9, 10 on the highway.
It is.
So we try to get done when the sun goes down.
Now, before I get to some of the questions I personally have, let's get to some of the questions that some of the listeners wanted us to ask you. And that is, what inspired you to leave your teaching journey and focus on storytelling full-time?
I think it comes to where I can make the most difference and stay the most true to who I am. Mm-hmm. I have a family full of teachers. My sisters, my parents, they're all teachers. So I got into the teaching profession just as sort of like it was a rite of passage, like I kind of had to do it.
Yeah.
But it was never my passion. I like telling stories. I'm an author. I like sharing messages. I like entertaining people. I like doing all these sorts of things that I really couldn't do as much in a classroom as I could a road or in a book.
Got you. Now, the journey that you're on right now, how has the journey been physically and mentally so far?
I'll start with mentally. Mentally, it's been great. It's opened my mind. I'm able to talk to many locals. It's very therapeutic to be able to walk. You know, you get the bipedalism of step after step where you get in these trances where you kind of go into a meditative state. It's been great. Physically, it's hard.
I saw a video you put up yesterday and you were limping, and I was like, yo, what's happening?
Well, okay, so I bought my shoes and I got blisters like the first day, but then I was good for about a month and a half, and now they're breaking down again, so I'm starting to get blisters again.
What?
And normally, I would wait like a week or so, with the blisters being where they are right now, but I had a lot of appointments in Windhoek, including with some TV stations with a party of people who wanted to join and say hi. So I had to get here. I couldn't miss a deadline.
Got you.
So I just kind of pushed through the last 4 days when I really didn't want to.
Yeah. Speaking about the people you have to sort of meet along the way, what have you learned from meeting people on this journey?
I think that's been an important message, is that people want to do good. People are great at heart. Everyone loves to help. Everyone loves to be a part of a mission. Everyone loves to connect.
Yeah.
It's I got a lot of comments when I first started of, oh, you're going to get robbed. You're going to get kidnapped. You're going to get attacked. You know, all these fearful messages that sometimes get propagated on news.
For sure.
But it's been the opposite. You know, I've been, like, I look at the stretch from Noorderver to Kettman's, and it's 300 kilometers, and I think it's perfectly symbolic of my mental health journey in its own right. Like, there's only one stop in between. It's Grunau. And if I just walked it myself, I would die. I would die of starvation. I would die of dehydration. But I had people stop and give me water along the way. I had people help me. And with help, I became strong. So that's the mental health image I want to push out, too. Like, individual, we're pretty weak. But if we work together and we communicate and we have community, then we're our strongest versions of ourselves.
Wow. Just walk us a little bit through your routine. So what? Where do you, say you know, you're on a stretch like that, where do you sleep? Do you put up camp? Is the things you look out for? What time do you wake up? Do you walk only during the day? Do you walk at night? Walk us a little, just a small brief of what your routine is like on the road.
So it's a little different every day. When we're in towns and civilization, we're usually able to stay with locals, either in a guest house or just strangers that watch our videos and want to put us up and meet us. It's me and my cameraman, Gebhard. He's a local Namibian, by the way. He's riding on a cycle, and he's filming, but I'm walking, and it's us two together. But anyway, so
is he also taking the entire journey with you?
He started in Springbok. I hired him, and then the plan is for him to take the whole journey with me.
And he's on a bike?
He's on a bike.
Okay.
So we wake up at like 7:30, 8, traditionally, and then in a perfect world, because that's when the sun comes up, in a perfect world we would walk until about 7 p.m., and we put in about 40 kilometers, and then we'd stay. But sometimes we have to go 45, sometimes we have to go 55, sometimes we only get 28. It depends on when the town is.
Yeah.
But the bleak stretches are when, like, it's very exciting when I can wake up and know I have 35 or 40 kilometers to this town where I'll be eating and I'll be staying. That's very exciting. Those are easy walks. The hard ones are when it's like, okay, our next town's in 160 kilometers. We're going to walk for 3 days before we see anyone.
What?
And then you wake up, you walk for 12 hours, and then you camp, and you do that 2 straight days after that.
It doesn't get scary at night, like putting up a camp and just hearing wild noises.
No, I mean, it's funny as you mention it. In South Africa, people are like, are you worried about like leopards or anything like that?
Yeah.
And I was camping near lambs and cows and stuff. I'm pretty sure the leopard would prefer them.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Then here it's like if I go 140 kilometers without finding water, then the animals have the same issue. So I'm not really worried about them coming to get me either.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Well, lastly, I know you're a busy man and I gotta let you go. What advice do you have for people struggling with mental health?
Open up about it, talk about it, find community. If you need to, talk to professional help, therapy, sometimes medication is good. But I think don't feel like you need to go through it alone.
Yeah.
And as long as you're open with people, it's hard at first because I think there's a stigma behind it about like appearing weak. But I think there's a certain strength and vulnerability where if you show that you're struggling, I think people can help you with it.
100%.
And one more thing, it started out as a Cape Town to Cairo, but because of the war in Sudan, we're staying west and we're going through Tunisia. But we're ending in northern Africa on the western side.
On the western side.
Yes.
Well, good, sir. Let this not be our last check-in. This is our first check-in. We do have your contacts, and along the way, we would love to check in with you as you hit every country. But from 99 FM and from the entire Future Media and our listeners in Namibia at large, we really wish you all the best with your journey.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for taking time to speak to us.
Okay, take care.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Stupek, a 31-year-old author who has decided to take this work all the way from South Africa to the other side of Africa. And you just heard that the journey is not easy, but what makes the journey beautiful is walking this journey with the people.